whatever you want to use. Just log in and log into your UTED account, because we're going to be getting into your email, because everybody has an email from the university regarding our little presentation today. So it's going to help with signing up for Seelio. So,
we're good? That's
all right,
recording.
cool. All right. So today I want to talk to you guys about a product. So this product has some pretty cool attributes. So it has the potential to change the course of your life. It has the potential to open up doors for you that maybe you didn't really think were possible, or maybe you never even thought existed. So see, this product is called Seelio, and we're going to talk a little bit about what this is and what it means for you. So Seelio, in a nutshell, is helping you tell your story. So what does that really mean? Tell your story. Tell your story to who? Tell your story to potential companies that you'll be getting a job with. So this is a social network for students specifically. It's a platform for students like you and me to communicate to companies, to present ourselves to companies that we all want to work for. Whether you're in communications, whether you're in computer science, and everywhere in between, there's opportunity for you to kind of show yourself, to be seen. Seelio is it's kind of a weird word, right? But it's to see portfolio, to have your portfolio be seen. And your portfolio is your summation of all the work you've done in your college career, and maybe stuff you do in your extracurricular life too. Like for instance, I posted on my Seelio profile stuff that I'm working on with a student organization that I'm part of. Also, I posted some of my photography on there, because this is really more than just a resume website. You know, it's much more than just like LinkedIn. It's a chance for a company to see who you are as a person. You know, much more than just a black and white representation. So, want to show a video that Seelio has on their website. It's really cool. It's really representative of who and what Seelio is all about. So as you can see, so who's written their resume in here? Everybody, right? Because we had that assignment earlier this semester. So if when you were writing that, you kind of felt like you heard the sighs in there, like you're writing it. I don't know if this is really getting what I did, or I don't know if this is really expressing who I am. This is definitely an opportunity for you to bridge that gap of black and white versus something very dynamic like showing a video. You can have this YouTube video right in your portfolio. You can have pictures right in your portfolio, easily accessible. So I want to back up and kind of talk about something, I guess the way we look at our when we look at a job, right? Because we don't just want any job when we graduate, right? I mean, you get a college degree to get a job, right, and make money. But I mean, if you're making money flipping burgers, that doesn't exactly appeal to your need and interest as a student, and doesn't use your skills, right? So we have this big, scary thing here that I'm calling the existential pyramid of humanity, which sounds really crazy and actually might not mean anything at all to you. But let me explain. So we have three levels of working, we'll say. All right, and we've all heard these words before: occupation, career, and vocation. To me, they meant the same thing until I kind of looked into what those words really meant. Really, they're quite different, and they each kind of have a progressive nature as you go up the pyramid. So first off, occupation. What makes that different than a career or vocation? Occupation, if you kind of break it down, it means just kind of to occupy. Now, this isn't saying like you have the worst jobs are at the bottom, the better jobs are at the top, but it's more your view for working, or view for making your resume, or compiling a portfolio. So, someone that has an occupational mindset is just kind of fulfilling their job, fulfilling what they're supposed to do, and spending it's a place to spend your time. So it's a way of spending your time. Go to job, you clock in, do what you're supposed to do, clock out, and that's great. You know, everybody goes through that stage in their life, and some people stay there, and that's fine. You know, that's the way they live their life, and their life is more than just about, or their life focus isn't really on their work. So there's that level. Then there's the career level, which is the same thing, but has a view towards growth. So you're in an industry, whether it's computer science, whether it's business, whether it's social work, and you have a view towards growth. So you're doing the work, you're coming in, you're diligent, but you have a view towards growth. And the career is really kind of pointing towards the vocation. So we have the career that's you're working towards something with a view towards kind of establishing something or innovating something to another level. So at the vocational level, it's really interesting, this word vocation, because I always kind of thought about it as a job, right? No different. But when you look at the definition, it really talks about a calling, or having a strong feeling for what you're involved in. So people I think of that have this kind of vocational mindset are entrepreneurs or innovators. Like, how many physicists can you name right now? Any physicists come to mind? Well, other than people at the university, only one, and that's Albert Einstein. Everybody knows who Albert Einstein is, and if you take 3 seconds to Google him, and he's famous for physics and mathematics, right? So how is it that everybody knows who this guy is? Because he had a strong feeling, had a very ambitious life devoted to his vocation. So what does this have to do with you, and what does that have to do with Seelio? These are the type of people that these companies are looking for. Someone with a vocational mindset, a career mindset, and I pretty much think we all have that, but how do you express that? And Seelio is a very fluid way of expressing your aspirations and goals. So now that we kind of looked at kind of the inner guts of what Seelio is, let's take a step back and look at what Seelio is in terms that maybe are a lot more understandable. So Seelio is essentially it's like LinkedIn and Pinterest kind of mashed together in a very nice way. So LinkedIn, we all probably know what that is. It's essentially the Facebook for professionals, right? There's job postings, you can post your resume, you can network, all that type of thing. Pinterest is like a message board where you can post your interests, right? Pinterest, post your interests. Really cool. I think I got a lot of recipes on how to make interesting blueberry muffins off there, but much more. It's a really cool paradigm. So we see Seelio. It's a place where you can, where not just you, but students. It's specifically geared for students, like you and me. You don't have, your dad's not going to be on Seelio, let's say, unless he's a student. But so it's an environment just for students interacting with companies, and this doesn't exist anywhere else that I know of. This Seelio is very specific. It fills the gap of the spectrum in social media that better than anything I've seen. Facebook is kind of becoming this big, huge monster that just is a waste of time for the most part. Right? But Seelio, I think, it's an opportunity to network with people in the university, see what people in the university are working on, and see what people in other universities are working on. So it's a really productive environment. So something about Seelio, how it got started, comes out of the U of M, right? Just 45 minutes north. Regardless of your sentiments towards our football rivalry, it's really a great university, and they're really coming up with some amazing things. So Seelio started in 2011 by a guy. It's kind of headed up. It was co-founded by several people, but one of the main guys that started, his name is Moses Lee, and he's in addition to an entrepreneur, he's a faculty member in the business college, and he wears just a lot of hats. He's involved in what's called incubator startups. So it's like these rooms where all these creative people get together and come up with tomorrow's technology, come up with new businesses to innovate things that we all use. So this is the guy right here, Moses Lee. He actually gave a presentation here in October, which is why I'm standing up here giving you this presentation today. And UT has invested in each of us by providing this service to us. I think it costs something like $20 a student every year or something like that. But it's so this is something that's at our disposal, and we'll be looking into that here in a little bit. So who cares, right? This is something that came out of U of M. Is it really worth its weight in anything? Well, I did a little research, of course, and there are some pretty good write-ups, some pretty substantial sources, such as Forbes, which is one of the most well-known business magazines, talking about how Seelio is a great platform for students to compile their portfolio in. Also, TechCrunch, which is it's like an online news source specifically geared towards startups. So, like I said, Seelio started in 2011. Starts getting noticed because it's really a good platform and really something useful. And it started right here in the Midwest. So it's spreading. So you have the opportunity to be a part of this network on the forefront. So another thing that adds to the legitimacy of Seelio is the companies that are posting jobs, or the companies that are seeking talent like you and me for the jobs, which is why we're all here in the first place, right? So Google, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm not advertising for these guys. These are people that are actually looking for students, for newly graduated undergrads and people that are getting out of graduate school. These are the type of companies that are on Seelio. So it's not just these big three, right? Like if you think, oh, I'll never be good enough to work for Google or something like that, you know, don't sell yourself short. But you know, if you don't want to don't want to work for those type of companies, that's fine. There's tons of different companies out there, or on Seelio that are looking for everything, like literally every anything you want to do is on there. So one of the things I did to prepare for this is I created my own profile, obviously, and I spent a good amount of time kind of crafting my bio. So when you read it, you really kind of see who I am, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But is everybody logged into their email? So I figured this might be the easiest way to get you guys connected. If you log in your email and you just search for Seelio, S-E-E-L-I-O, that's going to bring up a message that we all got, and you'll click on it, and it'll take you right to Seelio, and it'll give you the because there's a specific code that was sent out, and it'll make it easier for you to sign up. So I'll show you guys my profile. So this is my profile. It has the familiar format. You got your About Me section. This is something that I worked on with the pulse-driven systems team that I told you guys a little bit about at the beginning of the semester. Got a video here of our motor starting. So like this is a motor that we're working on, and this can be your presentation. This can be you talking about what you want to do in your field. Or this can be, and I got a picture here of the bike that the motor is mounted on now. So, I mean, this is just something that I put together within a couple maybe an hour or two. I really want to develop this more and add more content. Because I mean, obviously, the more content you can have, the more interesting you are as a company. So, did everybody find the email? Yeah. Okay. So if you follow the instructions in there, you can easily get one of these things going. Let's get started from the beginning. Okay. So everybody's logged in. So everybody kind of gets an idea of how to create one of these things. One of the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is why this is so important. There's nothing wrong with a paper resume, but within this day and age, you have to be digital. You have to have something. The times are changing, right? I mean, everybody knows that. So this is specifically designed for the way we're all communicating in this day and age. So Uncle Sam, he wants you to get a Seelio account. I'm sorry, that's the cheesiest thing I can think of, but really, this is the way. This is the best way for you to show who you are to the company that you want to work for. So I really hope all of you, take this opportunity to kind of further your ambition for the job that you want. So, are there any questions on the Seelio thing? No?
Can you show some of your
Yeah.
your page?
My page, yeah.
Yeah.
So here, I don't have much here. I kind of have like a link to my Twitter. You can put your Facebook on there if you want. Then there's like skills and interests. So then there's this group, Public Presentation 001. This is the group that you'll join when you sign up. So.
Can you bring that up?
Yeah. So this is the group This is Lydia's
stuff
on there.
over here.
Look how cool it is. There's other people on here. So,
Do you know how many employers take a look? Like, is there any statistics of
how many people like what do you mean?
like,
Well, here's the job board.
yeah, like, do you know how many people get jobs?
Oh, get jobs or placed? You want? I didn't look at those statistics, but the fact that the employers are posting these things here shows that they are interested. So if you meet the qualification, I mean, obviously there's a qualification, right? But they're not posting stuff that is unattainable. So they are looking for people with a skill set that is on the level of an undergrad or a graduate student. So a lot of stuff here is kind of like computer related programming, but if you go to like marketing and advertising, there's lots of stuff here, different companies. So the thing is, that's the other thing is, a lot of these companies you don't know exist maybe because they're startup companies. They've started in the past 10 years. They're not the Google, or they're not the Facebook. But there are a lot of companies out there looking for talented, young, newly graduated, people like you and me that are, ambitious. So this is a great opportunity because I mean, look, from all over the country, Tennessee, Nashville, Michigan, all kinds of stuff. So, any other questions? Anybody confused? No confusion. That's good.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So how easy was it to post your video? They make it like step by step.
Super easy. All you do is you plug the link in. You just
okay.
copy the link from from YouTube, paste it into the Seelio
And it just pops up.
interface. Yeah, it just pops right up. And you just type in your description, post it, and you can rearrange everything if you want. You have lots of stuff. You can post your resume. You can post papers that you've written. Like if you have a paper you think really kind of shows your skills in writing, shows your view for a specific area of interest, and you think would be beneficial, put it right in there. So, any other questions?